You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge. Hi, I'm John. This is my show, An American Scheme, where I am proving that Diana Ross is Michael Jackson's actual mother. In this episode, I'm going to do it by explaining to you what the song Billie Jean is about. And I'm going to actually show you that Billie Jean is Diana Ross. So, the first basic misconception is that the baby in the song is the child that Michael has had. The baby is Michael Jackson himself. When there's the line, she showed a photo of a baby cries and the eyes look like mine. It was Diana Ross. Actually, I believe that Diana Ross, when she gave birth to Michael Jackson, I believe that she got a photo taken, because Diana Ross was not giving Michael Jackson away for life. She wasn't saying, okay, you're gone, I'm never going to talk to you again. Diana Ross did have intentions of getting back into this child's life at some time. So I do believe that there's a photo, and I believe that when she encounters Michael, when the Jacksons get signed back to when they get signed to Motown, there's some point there that the Jacksons stay with Diana Ross. I believe that this is where the whole instance happens, and so the Billie Jean song, I believe, is about this instant that happens at the time. And so here, we'll go through the words of the song Billie Jean, and I think I have a better... after I explain to you what the song's about, you're actually going to know what Billie Jean's about, what Michael Jackson was talking about, his actual life experience that he was dealing with as a child, how that affected him, and how it shows this effect when you look at his true life story, how his personality developed. You can see clearly that these were the issues that he was dealing with, and he was writing about it in his songs. He was expressing it in the only way he could, because they couldn't tell these stories. There's too many people directly involved and stuff. So anyway, so here we go. She was more like a beauty queen from a movie scene. When he's saying she was more, it's Diana Ross that he's talking about. So Michael Jackson knows who Diana Ross is. She's a big star, and so she's a singer though. But when he meets her in real life, it's this presence of Diana Ross. So he's saying she's more like a beauty queen from a movie scene when he actually meets her, because she's so beautiful and her beauty is overwhelming, and there's a presence about her that for a young kid at Michael Jackson, it's going to be hard for that kid to deal with the presence. And then when she's telling him that you're the one, this is what's going on. So the next line is, I said don't mind, because she's probably a little bit nervous, and she's like, Michael, I'm nervous, I'm so nervous here. And then he says, okay, he says, don't mind, but what do you mean I am the one? He's like, what are you talking about? I'm the one. She's nervous. She's saying, you're the one. He has no idea what she's talking about. She has pulled him into a room when she's actually and it's in her house. She's brought him in, and there's a point where she pulls him aside and actually explains to him, says, you're the one, explains what happened, that she was impregnated by Smokey Robinson when she was 14 years old. And because of the situation with this occurring before Motown there was no sex. Motown doesn't even exist at this time. This is before all of that happens. But Berry Gordy understands that the Smokey Robinson, that if Diana Ross is running around the neighborhood pregnant, saying, Smokey's the father, Smokey's the daddy, that's going to get out there and it's going to get around. So at some point you have to control this. And they're all liable, they're all responsible, with Berry Gordy is the one that's on the hook now. That if he loses Smokey Robinson, he's going to lose potentially Motown. These things have not developed yet, so they don't know exactly how to handle the situation. And I believe they make this choice, that they give Michael to the Jackson family, and that's how Michael becomes a Jackson. And that's where the lie becomes the truth. It's really sad, actually, when you know the truth of what Michael actually had to deal with. Okay, so then he starts talking about who will dance on the floor in the round. She says, Michael's now confused. She said, I'm the one. Who will dance on the floor in the round? So when they're the dancing on the floor in the round, I think is just a basic, it's the dance that has begun now between Michael and Diana. there's this now they're connected in a crazy way. There's this weird dance, and they're gonna dance on the floor in the public round of the circle in the public, and this is the thing that's gonna happen, and it develops through. That's why when he says, you know, who's gonna dance on the floor of the round, and then it develops later to when they're all dancing and stuff. So he says, she told me her name was Billie Jean. She told me her name was Diane. Hi, I'm Diana Ross. This is how she would walk up to herself and introduce herself. Hi, Michael. I'm Diana Ross. Do you see the same beat? Hi, I'm Billie Jean. That's where the beat of Billie Jean is. Hi, I'm Diana Ross. That's how it comes off that way. As she caused a scene, Diana Ross, you know, that's what her presence is very powerful. And so her presence causes a scene. Then every head turned with eyes that dreamed of being the one. And this is where you're seeing the people around that are seeing Michael now as he's dreaming of being the one, the actual, oh, okay, I am your son? So what does that mean? And Michael's starting to have dreams of, well, what does that mean? I'm your son. Well, you're here telling me I'm your son. Well, what does that mean? So that's where and then the people, the onlookers, which would be Joseph and Catherine, and Barry Gordy, you know, and Smokey Robinson, you know, so that's where he's talking about, then every head turned with eyes that dreamed of being the one. So Michael now is having the dreams. When she's saying you're the one, Michael's starting to dream of, what does that mean to me now? What does that mean that I'm your child now, but I'm here with the Jacksons, and what's going on here now? And then he says, who will dance? He's still confused now. Who's going to dance on the floor in the round? There's still confusion. He's showing confusion. And he says, people always told me, be careful of what you do and don't go around breaking young girls' hearts. So Michael's starting to have like deep reflections at this time. He would be like 10 years old. He's a kid. He's starting to have these deep reflections after she's told him, and now he's starting to move on. They're having the reflections. So he says, don't go around breaking young girls' hearts. And Mother always told me, and I've thought about this today a lot. When he's calling the mother, he's acknowledging Catherine as his mother more than Diana right there. He's given Catherine the acknowledges, saying, no, wait, I am a Jackson. I was raised by Catherine Jackson, and even Joe with all the stuff, he's acknowledging that he's a Jackson. Those are my brothers. This is my family. So it's like, who are you? That's why when he goes to do it later with her, he's more like, she's just a girl saying I'm the one, because he doesn't know who in reality. Yeah, she's Diana Ross, but in reality, she's just this girl, this crazy woman coming up saying, I'm the one, you're the one, you're the one. That's, you know, what was going on with them. So the mother always told me, be careful of what you do. Be careful who you love, of what you do, because the lie becomes the truth. And I really like that, because he's showing respect to Catherine, that Catherine gave him quality advice, and she had understanding of what his situation actually was, you know, and talking that she's the one that's talking about the lies becoming the truth, and now she's warning him, and she's been giving him other advice, and he's starting to reflect on that at this time. And he's given acknowledge to Catherine as his mother. And then Billie Jean's not my lover. The Billie Jean's not my lover, where he starts to come with this, is because now actually when the song is written, Michael's in his early to mid 20s, and there are stories of Michael and Diana being in sexual relationships have developed through the media, and then Michael having to cover up the lies, and throughout all of the years and not knowing how to handle the situations, had said foolish things too that perpetuated those lies with him and Diana, to make it think that those two were having some kind of sexual relationship. But he clearly is stating clearly, Billie Jean's not my lover. Diana Ross is not my lover. She's just a girl who claims that I'm the one. But the kid is not my son. That was always a misconception, that Michael's the one saying the kid is not my son. It's not. It's Diana is saying both things. It's Diana is saying she's just a girl that claims that I'm the one. Diana says that. She's saying you're the one, but she's also saying the kid is not my son. Diana can't publicly acknowledge that this has occurred. So now she has told Michael, you're the one, you're the one, you're the one, but we can't publicly acknowledge you that you're my son. So you know that's how that is develops there. My son, she says, I am the one, but the kid is not my son. That's how, she starts to pound that into his head, Then for 40 days and 40 nights, the law was on her side, but who can stand when she's in demand her schemes and plans? 'Cause we danced on the floor, in the round. So take my strong advice. Just remember to always think twice. Don't think twice. Do think twice. It's the same thing. Michael's reflecting in all of this parts. He's this is where he's being artistic and he's using his artistic license. He's making a song and stuff. And it's this with that some of the words there are a little bit trickier because of the law part. And with Diana, it's harder for me to think of like the reality of, is he talking about when he was born and the law situation there? Or is he talking about more when she does come back into his life? Was there something that maybe did occur there where maybe she tried to reclaim him? There might have technically been a thing, but then it played out really quick because of she's got all these others. She's so high in demand. And then she's got her own schemes and plans going on and stuff too. So Michael is acknowledging that all of that stuff had taken place. She told my baby we danced till 3. Then she looked at me. Then showed a photo of my baby cries. His eyes look like mine. Oh no. That's where Michael's like, oh no. Are you kidding me? This is like, what are you showing me, woman? When she actually pulls him aside and lays it down to him. Gotta imagine this actually happened in real life. And that's where the Peter Pan thing I always try to say now is that the Peter Pan scenarios, Peter Pan with the orphan and all this stuff, and how does that scenario develop so much of a personality develop in Michael Jackson if he's from this large family with both parents in the family? It doesn't develop the same way. But if it's my story and Diana's affects him this way, now you can see where the Peter Pan thing starts to develop. And then they're dancing on the floor. And then that one, we danced on the floor and the ground. They're developing the dance. The dance is developing with the words there. And the people always told me, be careful of what you do. Don't go around breaking young girls' hearts. She came and stood right by me with the smell of sweet perfume. This happened much too soon. She called me to her room. People think that's sexual because there's the woman leading Michael to the room. But it's not. It's Diana Ross, who comes with the sweet smell of the perfume. She's the one that calls Michael to the room, takes him alone. Michael's like, oh my God, this happened way too soon. I thought it was a family. Now you just screwed everything up, woman. And I'm having to be a star and an entertainer, having to deal with media in my face, and they're asking me questions. And that's why with Michael Jackson, how his personality developed and what screwed him up so much. So Billie Jean's not my lover. Michael's pronouncing that over and over again. He's trying to get people to understand he's not having sex with Diana Ross. She is his mother. She's just a girl who claims that I am the one, but the kid is not my son. Billie Jean is not my lover. She's just a girl who claims that I am the one. Kid's not my son. She says I am the one, but the kid is not my son. She says I am the one, but the kid is not my son. That's the whole thing about, that's what she's saying. Do you understand, people, what she's saying? She's saying I'm the one, but we can't announce it in public. You don't get to be my son. So Michael never got to be accepted in her family. Billie Jean's not my lover. She's this girl who claims that I am the one. Kid is not my son. She says I am the one. Kid is not my son. She says I am the one. She says he is my son. Breaking my heart, babe. She says I am the one. That's where it broke Michael's heart right there, when she's actually, saying that he's the son. And Billie Jean's not my lover. That's Billie Jean. That's what the song is about. This is how Michael Jackson's personality develops through the years. And he dedicates himself into his music. This is why he becomes the great entertainer that he had become. But he had this personal trauma, the lie and the cover-up and all of the serious issues of what he's dealing with. And Diana Ross is at the key of everything. Diana Ross needs to be approached and asked, Diana Ross, are you Michael Jackson's mother? This fucking crazy wacko on the internet is saying he can prove that he knows for sure. He says, you guys got nothing. I am fully on willing to slander the shit out of Berry Gordy, Joe Jackson, Katherine Jackson, Smokey Robinson, Diana Ross. Fuck all of you motherfuckers. I know exactly what the fuck has happened. I'm here now. This fucking shit is coming out. Fuck all of you.